Is there, because this is the Witching Hour, we cover a lot of genre, not just horror as though we would box it into that specific term, but just in general, whether it's a movie, a TV show, a book, you name it, is there any genre material out there that you've recently explored that you want to share with our audience?
You mean, oh my God, here's it. I mean, I've watched all the films for the Academy, and I voted. I'm not gonna. I've been invited this summer, which I was quite. I took it very seriously, so I watched
one of the
everything.
new members this year, right?
Yeah,
Congratulations!
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, what an honor! Wow. So yeah, I've explored all that, and I fell in love with Roma so much, and I think it told the story. Being an immigrant myself, coming from Algeria, and went to France when I was 10 years old, and moved to LA when I was 24. I sort of know what it's like, especially Algeria being like a country that has yet, to experience the full potential of its richness and abilities. I think it would have been hard for me to become dancers that I've been and to have act if I stayed there. And I know that France represented the sea of opportunities and in all those shots, like seeing the plane behind the actors and what it represented, so like really I could relate to, and also the beautiful way in which it was shot. And I just thought that's something that really gave me, like, spoke a lot to me, and it creeped on me as the days went by and I saw it again. So is that what you asked?
We normally focus on genre. I don't know if Roma would fit in this sphere, but that was such a beautiful answer that I think it's fine.
Okay. Now, in terms of genre, I don't, like, if there's a new genre that I've never experienced before, I'm not sure.
Or any sort of horror, sci-fi, fantasy stuff you've seen lately that you really liked?
Is there... I have the feeling that yes.
Yes. Well, let me ask you this, actually.
Like, I just watched again Under the Skin by Jonathan Glazer. And you know what I watched again is The Cell.
Oh,
I haven't watched The Cell in forever.
And all those, that to me is something that really marks me. I remember at the time, I wonder, watching it again, what it would do. But the way they communicated, same thing, that world with all those magical vignettes and weird, moody spaces. It was just like so well done. I felt like I loved that film again. Yeah. And what's the other one that I said before The Cell?
Oh gosh,
right before The Cell.
Oh, and Under the Skin.
Under the Skin.
Same thing. I was like, that's a formula that doesn't fit in a box that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And that I fall in love with that kind of films. Yeah.
The Cell is making me think, like, where's Tarsem Singh been?
I know.
Yeah. Where is he?
Well, he did that Yellow Brick Road TV show, or
I do vaguely remember
something
that.
Oz. But that's the last.
He's just like such a standout visual director. Like, nobody crafts an image quite like he does.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I watched? My favorite movie last year was Mandy. By Panos Cosmatos.
This is the right place to bring up Mandy.
My friend brought this movie up. I was like, what is it? Who is that? Like, what? With Nick Cage? And I'm such a big fan of Nick Cage. I absolutely love him. And I love Andrea Riseborough. And I watched the film, and I remember I told my agent I'd love to meet him. Like, I don't produce. I'm not a writer either. But I have nothing to tell him besides geek. And he said okay, and he was happy to meet me. And we sat and like geeked for hours on end. And then he stayed, and his girlfriend came, and we went to spend New Year's together. And he's just like the best. And I watched Beyond the Black Rainbow, and I think he has such an interesting mix of style between Ridley Scott and Kubrick that I feel like just like we don't have enough movies that way. The same way, like with Under the Skin, I want to watch more movies that way. And I think he financed his first film on his own, and he was able to make this movie happen. And Nick Cage has seen it and was so on board with him. I'd love to work with Panos. Like, I'd love to make a movie with him. He was able to, like, the lighting has such a character, has such a story of its own, and makes you feel a certain way that is so powerful. And even like Johan Johannesson's last movie that he scored, and unfortunately I couldn't vote for that film because I believe to be eligible for the Academy you have to have 2 slots a day for a week. Is that what it is?
I don't remember exactly why, but it was disqualified.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think on opening week it played only 1 time a day, and I think you have to play 2 different theater a day for for the opening weekend. But I thought, what a shame, because I think it's a really beautiful art piece, and you see Nick Cage as we like to see him, and it's a simple revenge story, but I loved the way that movie made me feel.